Welcome to a new episode.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Copper Connection podcast. As always, I'm your host Chris Bailey, and if you're a student, apprentice, or anyone working your way through a technical qualification in plumbing, construction, or the trades, this is your space. Today we're diving into something that might sound a bit techy at first, but trust me, it's an absolute game changer for your career. We're talking about data principles in construction. Now, before you start switching off, thinking, data sounds a bit boring, let me tell you a story. Imagine you're on site, first week of your apprenticeship, you're handed a set of plans and your supervisor says, right, we need 50 metres of 22mm copper delivered by Thursday. You nod, you write it down. But when Thursday comes, the delivery shows up with 15mm pipe instead. The whole job grinds to a halt. The client's fuming, your supervisor's stressed, and you're left wondering what went wrong. Here's the thing, it wasn't the pipe supplier's fault. It wasn't your fault. It was a data problem. Someone somewhere along the line entered the wrong specification, and that one tiny error, one wrong number in a system, costs time, money, and trust. This is why your data principles isn't just for the IT crowd, it's for you. Because in construction and the trades, data is everywhere, and knowing how to handle it can make or break a project. So let's start with the basics. What actually is data? Think of data like ingredients in your kitchen. You've got flour, eggs, sugar, butter, all sitting there on the counter. On their own, they don't do much, they're just stuff. But when you mix them together, follow a recipe and bake them, you get a cake. That's information. Data is raw. It's disorganized. It's numbers, statements, characters. Things like measurements, material codes, temperatures, dates. Information is what happens when you process that data, organize it, and turn it into something useful, like a project schedule, a cost estimate, or a building plan. In construction, we're consistently generating data. Every measurement you take, every material you order, every hour you log, it's all data. And the magic happens when that data gets turned into information that helps you make decisions. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The construction industry is what we call an information-intensive environment. That's a fancy way of saying there's a lot going on, and everyone needs to talk to each other. You've got architects, engineers, plumbers, electricians, project management, clients, suppliers, all working together. And for a project to succeed, all these people need to share accurate, up-to-date information. If one person's working off old plans, or someone enters the wrong data, the whole thing can fall apart. That's why collaboration is so important, and that's why understanding how data works is a superpower in this industry. All right, let's talk about the key elements of data you need to know. There are a few big ones, and I'm going to break them down in a way that makes sense for your day-to-day work. First up, accuracy. This is a huge one. Data in construction informs critical decisions. Things like project costs, time schedules, workflows, and how a building gets used. If your data's wrong, those decisions are wrong, and that can lead to serious problems. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're working on a heating system installation. The spec says you need a certain type of boiler, but somewhere in the system someone's entered the wrong model number, so the wrong boiler gets ordered. It arrives on site and guess what? It doesn't fit, it's not compatible with the pipework. Now you've got delays, extra costs, and a very unhappy client. All because of inaccurate data. So here's the lesson. Double check everything. When you're logging measurements, entering material specs, or updating a schedule, take that extra second to make sure it's right. Because accuracy isn't just about being careful, it's about protecting the project, your team, and your reputation. Next we have interoperability. Big word, simple idea. Interoperability means that different technology systems and devices can talk to each other. They can exchange data, interpret it, and store it using common standards. Think about your phone. You can send a text to someone with a different brand of phone, right? That's interoperability. The systems work together. In construction, this is crucial. You might have a surveyor using one software, an engineer using another, and a project manager using a third. These systems can't share data easily. You've got chaos. But when they're interoperable, everything flows. Data gets shared, everyone's on the same page, and the project runs smoothly. Thirdly, level of detail or LOD. This one is all about how much detail you need at different stages of the project. Imagine you're sketching out a bathroom layout in the early design phase. You don't need to know the exact brand of taps or thread sizes of every fitting yet. You just need the big picture. Where the sink goes, where the toilet is, rough pipe routes. But later, when you're actually installing, you need all the detail. Exact measurements, material specs, connection types, everything. That's LOD. It's about matching the level of data at the stage of the project. And in modern construction, especially with BIM, Building Information Modeling, which we will get to in a sec, defining the LOD is essential. And finally, metadata. Metadata is data about data. It's like the label on a box. The box might contain a tool, but the label tells you what's inside, when it was packed, and where it's going. In construction, metadata helps you track and organize data. It might tell you when a measurement was taken, who took it, what equipment was used, and what part of the project it relates to. This makes it way easier to find what you need and understand the context. So, how is all this data actually used in construction? Well, data helps us understand behaviours, like how people use a building. Are certain rooms always too hot? Is the lighting in the office causing eye strain? Data can tell you. Assess performance, things like energy usage, how green a building is, how long it will last. This is huge for sustainability and meeting regulations. Improve competitiveness by making projects run efficiently, on time and on budget. If you can use data to spot problems early and fix them fast, you're already ahead of the game. Allocating resources, showing how work should be scheduled, how worker time is best used and where materials need to go. Data isn't just a number on a screen, it's a tool that makes you better at your job. Now let's talk about the tech that collects all the data. In the modern construction world, we use ICT, information and communication technologies. And the equipment is pretty cool. We've got robotic total stations. These are high-tech surveying tools that manage angles and distances with crazy accuracy. They're used for laying out a site, making sure everything's in the right place. 3D camera systems like Matterport that can create virtual tours of a space. You can walk through a building on your laptop before it's even finished. Engineers can check progress without being on site. Drones for aerial survey, progress monitoring. Sensors that track things like temperature, humidity and movement, and even your phone and tablet, which can capture photos, measurements and notes on the go. All of this equipment generates data, and that data gets fed into systems that turns it into useful information. One of the most powerful examples of this is BIM, Building Information Modeling. BIM is an intelligent 3D model-based process that takes you through the entire life cycle of a building. It's got 4 main stages. We have the plan, where you can capture real-world data about the site and the environment. Design, where you create detailed models, run analysis, and plan out the project. Build, where the construction happens, guided by the BIM specs and logistics. Operate, where the building is in use. The BIM data helps with maintenance, renovations, and eventually deconstruction. The beauty of BIM, it keeps everyone connected. The architect, the engineer, the plumber, the electrician. They're all working on the same model. If someone makes a change, everyone sees it. Conflicts get spotted early, risk gets mitigated, and the whole project runs smoother. For you as a student or an apprentice, understanding BIM is a massive advantage. More and more employers are looking for people who get how digital construction works. So if you can talk about BIM, if you understand how data flows through a project, you're making yourself way more employable. All right then, let's bring this home. Data principles might sound like something for the office, but they're absolutely relevant to you on site. Whether you're measuring pipe runs, ordering materials or checking plans, you're working with data. And the better you understand it, the more valuable you become. Here's what I want you to take away from today. Data is raw. Information is processed. Know the difference. 2. Accuracy matters. Double check your work. One wrong number can derail a project. 3. Collaboration is key. Construction is a team sport and data is how we stay connected. 4. Technology is your friend. Learn the tools, understand BIM, get comfortable with digital systems. And 5. You're not just a tradesperson, you're a problem solver, a decision maker and a professional. Understanding data principles is part of that. So next time you're on site and someone hands you a spec sheet or asks you to log a measurement, remember you're not just doing a task, you're contributing to a bigger system. You're part of the information that makes the whole project work. And that's pretty powerful. Okay, so thanks for tuning into the Copper Connection podcast. If you found this helpful, please make sure you hit the follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. We're here every week with tips, insights and real talk for students and apprentices in the trade. And if you've got a question, topic you want us to cover, or just want to say hi, reach out. We're building a community here and you're a part of it. Until next time, keep learning, keep building and stay connected. I've been Chris Bailey and we'll see you on the next episode.
We'll be back next week. In the meantime, please subscribe and thanks for listening.